Okay, so hear me out. I know what you're thinking. Stone, are you seriously going to try to convince me that one of the most famous ancient Greek heroes has parallels to a goofy musical skeleton man? You big dumb idiot. What makes you think that actually works, you That is a horrendous take, and you should feel bad for even having it in the first place. And to that I say, rude. But also, yes. Hear me out, alright? Oh, also, spoilers for up to around Wano in One Piece, and the entire Odyssey, I guess. Okay, first off, they are both people that have gone on extremely long voyages, leaving something behind, and are currently trying to return to that. For Odysseus, it's, his wife, Penelope, his kid Telemachus, and his country of Ithaca. For Brook, it's Laboon. I mean, if you really think about it, it kind of works. At the point that we first see Brook in the story, he is trying to get back to Laboon. Just, kind of failing spectacularly on the fact that he's just on a broken ship with no rudder, and if he goes into the sun, he will literally disintegrate. But yeah, like you think about that, and it's just like, okay, maybe there are some parallels, I guess. But they're both, they are just both people that are going on long journeys on boats and are currently trying to return to a place. That's kind of vague, but then you think about it more, and the connections keep appearing. Like, okay, of course, we already mentioned the fact that they're both, trying to return to the thing that they've left a while ago on incredibly long-ass journeys. But let's have a think about it like this. Both literally went to the underworld and back. One because of his devil fruit, and the other because he needed directions on how to get home, which is probably one of the funniest reasons you have to go to hell. What else? Let's see. Both of them had their entire crews die under their command at one point. When Brook was leading the Rumbar pirates, and they got attacked by pirates that used poison weapons, they all died, including Brook, but he got better. And then for Odysseus, it's after his crew ate the cattle. And then Zeus was just like, I'ma kill you. And then he killed everyone except Odysseus. Another thing that both of them both have seen their dead crew. Granted, Brook's was an illusion on Wano, but also he did hallucinate seeing his dead friends. So this is kind of a sort of point, but not really. Odysseus, he did see his dead crew in the underworld. But that was before all of them died, just most of them. So, they've been through similar stuff. Another thing, it's just, you think, okay, they've done, similar stuff. Both of them have gone through, similar things. And it's just okay, maybe. There's a connection in terms of what they've been through. But character-wise, they're completely different. Are they? Because I know we don't think of this from the goofy skeleton man with an afro that keeps asking women if they can show him their panties. But Brook is incredibly tactical. And so is Odysseus. That's kind of his whole deal. Okay, let's think about it like this. Odysseus, he tricked the Cyclops into basically falling asleep defenseless, and he stabbed his eye out. Odysseus, also did the fucking Trojan horse. Yeah, that was his idea. Then, of course, he had to sacrifice some of his crew in order to get through Scylla and Charybdis. Basically, Odysseus, he's a smart guy. He uses tactics to win the day because, he's strong by human standards. But, if he's fighting a monster or, someone with magic, he can't fucking win that. He needs to either be the Weasley bitch that he is or use divine intervention. One of them he needs. And then, let's think about Brook. Brook is the fucking clutch factor of most arcs. Not most, but Brook is the clutch factor of multiple arcs. Let's think about it like this. Fucking Whole Cake Island. Whole Cake Island, of course, they were like, oh yeah, we need to get Sanji back. But they're also like, hey, if we're at Big Mom's, territory, let's just steal some for poneglyph robbings. Brook did that. That was entirely Brook. Everyone was like, okay, we're gonna, save Sanji. Brook was like, all right, I'm gonna handle the poneglyph robbings. And he did. He literally snuck in, got the rubbings. Big Mom showed up, lost to her, but, she fell asleep. And he was able to sneak out with the rubbings because he hid them in his skull. kind of reminds you of another guy who dealt with an opponent while sleeping. Granted, that opponent had 1 less eye and 85 less children, but still, it's there. Also on Whole Cake Island, when they were trying to smash the picture of Mother Caramel, Brook was the one that did that. He's the one that snuck in, and while Jinbei was giving his baller-ass speech of, I'm leaving the Big Mom Pirates, everyone was like, holy shit. And then literally just off to the side, Brook was just like, doot, 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 doot. Smash. Like, come on. And then when Brook, when Yola in Dressrosa, the art lady, snuck onto the Thousand Sunny, and she literally took care of everyone. And then Brook literally tricked her, baby, was like, yo ho 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 ho, this abstract art is amazing. I want to write a song about it. And she's like, oh, then let's sing. Let's hear a song. He's like, I wish, but I am all wobbly because of the art. I can't play the violin. She's like, oh, I'll fix that. He's like, thanks. Ship. Cuts her down. Literally, like that is literally an Odysseus move. Brook doesn't really have any like true 1v1s. He has the one in Fishman Island, but like that's it. Most of the time, he's playing support. Like he was essentially just running support shit in the background for all of Whole Cake Island. When Robin was going to kick Black Maria's ass, he was basically just in the background. Like, all right, I'll take care of the other like Oni ladies, the yokai ladies. I'll take care of the yokai. It's like, yo ho 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 ho, I'll take care of the yokai ladies. You go get him, Robin. Like, yeah, like it's weird. Like they're both insanely smart and tactical, and I guess they're also like both really old at that point. Like they're both old and very experienced. That's why. That's part of the reason why they're very tactical. We don't know enough about Brook's early life to say if he was incredibly tactical in his youth, but with age comes experience. Then again, most of that age was him just alone on a boat, so you gotta assume that at least some of that was from when he was still, had flesh and bones and skin. Well, he still has bones when he had flesh. So yeah, clearly, Odysseus and Brook have a lot of, parallels. But you wanna know what the craziest thing is? Laboon also has parallels. Not to Penelope exactly, but to Telemachus. They both kind of do. It's not to the extent of, Brook and Odysseus, but, think about the point that Laboon is at the start, when we meet him at Reverse Mountain, and think about the point that Telemachus is at the start of the Odyssey. Both are kind of in hopeless situations. Now, they're not exactly the same. Laboon's is more just he just really misses his friend and is literally killing himself trying to get to them, and that's bad. With Telemachus, he's more just I don't know if Dad's coming back, but goddamn, these suitors are such a fucking pain, and I want to deal with them. And we know that if Odysseus didn't come back, he would be dead. The suitors would have killed him. And if Telemachus didn't do anything, they might have actually still gotten to him. But they both received hope from outside. Athena gave Telemachus hope. She literally was the one for him. It's hey, your dad's alive. Don't worry about it. Just do this and he'll be fine. He's like, great, I'll do that then. And, he went off. Laboon, on the other hand, received hope from the insane lunatic crackhead by the crackhead grabbing the mast of his ship, tearing it off, stabbing Laboon with it, then trying to pick a fight with the fucking whale by punching it in the eye. Laboon justifiably smacks him away. And then after that, the crackhead gets up and is like, all right, that was a good fight. We'll call it a tie. No, you better wait here. I'll be back, and I'm going to kick your ass. So you better not do anything in the meantime. And, it worked. Somehow. That crackhead's a whole other discussion. Now, I know I've been, pointing out all these similarities, but it wouldn't be fair if I didn't bring up the fact that there are some very key differences between Odysseus and Brook, besides the fact that one has flesh and doesn't have an afro and doesn't sing. Well, except for that one time. All I hear are screams! Yeah. But, let's cover the basics. Music and life are a very key part of Brook's character. Not so much Odysseus. Music especially not. In Homer's The Odyssey, no such thing. Another difference between them is why they wish to return. Odysseus is just I have been gone for so goddamn long. I just want to go to bed in my house next to my wife. Brook, on the other hand, at first he wants to return sheerly out of guilt. He's just my boy Laboon, he's been waiting for so long. I don't even know if he's waiting at this point, but I can't just give up on him. He literally is like, I don't have the right to not try and get back to Laboon. And then he learns, oh, Laboon's still waiting for me, and these guys will support each other's dreams. He's like, all right, Laboon, I want to return to you, but I'm also going to keep my promise of traveling around the world and then getting right back to you. And that's where he is currently at the story. So clearly there are some key differences, but there's one that I haven't brought up, which I think is the most key, I guess, the most important difference between the two of them. Odysseus would stop at nothing to return home. He would sacrifice anything, including his entire crew. Brook would never. Brook would never. Brook is... People always talk about how Zoro is like, oh, Zoro's the most loyal Straw Hat. No, it's Brook. It's Brook. Straight up. Like, Brook is the only one that is like... He constantly talks about... Not constantly, but there are multiple points where he literally says he is the ride or die for Luffy. He is Luffy's ride or die. Keep in mind, the time between Thriller Bark and Sabaody was like a week. So think about it from Brook's perspective. He's literally just like, I found this crew, and they'll support each other, and they'll support me, and I'm going to travel around the globe with them and return back to my whale boy. And then literally a week later, they get separated at Sabaody, and he sees the fucking message in the paper. He's like, all right, 2 years training? Bet. You got it. Brook is the most ride or die out of any Straw Hat. Well, not necessarily. They're all ride or die. They're all ride or die. They're all lunatics. But yeah, Brook is fiercely loyal, and he would not sacrifice Luffy. He would not sacrifice any of the Straw Hats. He cares about them too much. Actually, hell, Brook wouldn't sacrifice anybody for his dream, I believe. There's no... Of course, if there's someone in his way, he's going to be like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, or just go around you. But he would never sacrifice someone for the sake of his dream. Especially since he is willing to wait. He's like, I'm going to get to Laboon eventually. With how long One Piece has been going on, that eventually has been, it's been taking a while. But yeah, that's the biggest difference between them, I believe. The fact that Odysseus would cross any line, and there are lines Brook would not cross. Brook is genuinely more of a gentleman than Odysseus is, and that's hilarious. Like, think about it. Like, Brook doesn't have the best manners most of the time, but can you blame him? He was stuck on a ship alone for 50 years. That'd fuck with anybody. And he's willing to go out of his way to help people. Odysseus doesn't care. He literally cares about going home, and that's it. So yeah, I don't think this was like an intentional parallel that is like, oh, Brook and Odysseus. We're just like, yeah, Brook is totally the Odysseus of One Piece. There's so many similarities where it's just like, how could it not be intentional? But I don't feel like it is. I don't think Eiichiro Oda was like, yes, I'm going to write the Skeleton Man, and he's going to be a goofy musical guy, and he's also going to have parallels to Odysseus. I don't think he was consciously thinking that, or subconsciously thinking that, while writing One Piece. But, like, the parallels are there, and there's too many to ignore. Like, there are some very key differences. They aren't the exact same character or anything like that. If they were, I feel like I would have noticed this much sooner. But it's crazy. It's insane. I don't know how to take this. If you liked what you saw here today somehow, consider stopping by at twitch.tv/StoneStonington, where you could hear such insane things as, this train can really handle anything you throw at it, including a bomb.
The link with the new terminal is
Why is that allowed?
Change
61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Nice.
I cannot be free until I slay 100 devil summoners.
Would.
But you'll be my 100th, won't you?
Whatever makes you happy, baby.
Fuck you, Joker. Fuck you, you stupid ass fucking twink. You piece of shit.
Alright. Oh, she's just bigger? That just makes her more appealing. So if any of that seems appealing somehow, stop on by. I may be live right now. Also, comment down below if I missed anything, and subscribe if you want to hear more of my insane ramblings.